So I'm going to take a break from finals to tell you why I don't drink Soco anymore. 3 years back in the summer of 2008, me and some friends decided to go to New Orleans for my friend Nina and Aaron's bachelor and bachelorette party. I'm in the back there screaming because it's extremely dangerous to drive this way all the way to New Orleans. Now, back in the day at this time, I looked like this, but now I look like this, and I don't really care about drawing myself historically accurate, so I'm going to continue to draw myself awesome. When we get to New Orleans, we check into the hostel we're staying at. Now, when we get there, we are told that it is in a particular neighborhood that to go out the front door is nothing but rainbows and sugar dumplings and fireflies, but to go out the back door would be extremely hazardous to our health. This place was apparently at the threshold of the wrong side of the tracks. Anyway, we split up into two groups, boys and girls, and then we head off and do our own thing. First place we hit up is this little voodoo shop, which is pretty cool. They had lots of little knickknacks, but they really wouldn't let us take any pictures in there. I'm not sure if that was for any spiritual reason or just because they didn't want you advertising all the shit they had. The shopkeeper was this really cute rockabilly guy, though, whose name I can't remember anymore. I wonder why. But he was, like I said, very cute, and Nina was particularly enamored with him. Though I do remember him being engaged. The entire night we're walking around doing our debauchery. My friend Stephanie is wearing this pink sequence, most bedazzled dress you've ever seen in your entire life. It looked like something from the back of Tina Turner's closet, and it was blinding to behold. As you can imagine from the fact that we drove to New Orleans, the fact that we're staying in a hostel, that we didn't really have that much money, so the majority of the time we were drinking Soco, warm Soco, please note, out of plastic water bottles. Also, this was at a time about 2 years after Katrina, so the tap water in New Orleans was still of a questionable nature. Whenever we wanted to buy bottled water, it was actually cheaper to buy drinks, so instead we just kept drinking. When it's the middle of the night and it's hotter than the surface of the fucking sun, there's really not much to do except get drunk as fuck and go to the strip club, so that's what we decided to do around 10 o'clock. Nicole had never been to a strip club before, and I guess I wasn't experienced for her. Mostly she just believed what every stripper said and smiled very abashedly whenever they touched her knee. Then we made friends with a stripper called Hurricane, and I'm not really at liberty to say what happened then. I do know that there are photos that exist, photographic evidence, and I'm going to plead to anyone who has those right now, burn those. Please burn those, because, oh man, you can't really live that down. Anyway. So obviously some very adult things are going on, but then suddenly, Nicole, surprise, surprise, says that we have to stop all the shenanigans because we agreed to meet up with the guys at a predetermined time. I'm like, go. We don't need to go nowhere. We are fucking good here. Fuck the guys. We are good. Christ. Regardless, somehow Nicole manages to take us away from our collective strip clubs, and we do go and meet up with the guys, who by this point are extremely inebriated in more than one ways. Turns out that our friend Thomas drove down at the same time and was in New Orleans. So he rounded up the guys, brought them back to their van, smoked out some Panama Red, and then took them out for drinks. It's when we're walking down Bourbon Street amidst God only knows what kind of human liquids, really every bodily liquid that can be found in a human of every state and every income is down Bourbon Street, always. And BJ steps on a nail in all of this muck and starts bleeding profusely, but for some reason the thought of tetanus and or AIDS didn't really bother him. When we finally decide to go back to the hostel, we walk that way. It's me, BJ, Beef, and Nicole. And during this part, we end up getting followed by, I don't know, just this random crackhead. This isn't really what he looks like, but I decided to draw him funny to make light of the situation. Me, Beef, and BJ are like sizing up the situation. Beef has a brick in his hand, I'm palming a knife, and BJ picks up a stick. Meanwhile, Nicole is quite literally drunk and dancing in the fucking street. We get there okay, though, and I wake up the next morning with the worst hangover I have ever had to date. And lucky me, it's still 6,000 fucking degrees. Oh, great. Anyway, that's why I don't drink Soco anymore.